Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 18 of our prayer challenge entitled Keep Circling. What we're specifically praying for today is sort of what we prayed for with day 17. Give us persistence and patience as people of prayer, but then add to that, give us persistence and patience yet again. It made me think of George Mueller that I've mentioned before in one of the videos I did for this. He was a champion of prayer. He was the fellow who lived in the late 1800s in England, decided he was going to try to address the huge orphan problem that they had there with kids begging on the streets and stealing and so forth and so on by setting up orphanages, and the support for those would only be sought by prayer. No, he wouldn't be asking for money. It would only be prayer. And he says regarding the amount of support he received by prayer, he says, 1,400,000 pounds have been sent to me in answer to prayer. This was regarding his orphan work as well as his evangelistic work. So that was written in 1897. 1,400,000 pounds in today's money, something like about $272 million. He was very persistent in prayer. Now, I will say also that when you read about his life, there were many times when those cupboards were bare, when there was nothing there, when the Lord tried their faith, but he persisted and saw great victories. The other thing I'll mention too that we've talked about before, and that is being persistent in prayer, not about things, which we should be, but about people. And he was that as well. And this is what he says about his prayer life regarding 6 individuals, and he prayed for them to come to a saving knowledge of Christ. It took some time, they did, but here's how long he prayed for these people. He says, for one, I had been praying between 2 and 3 years. For another, between 3 and 4 years. For another, above 7 years. For the fourth, above 10 years. For the fifth, about 15 years. And for the sixth, above 20 years. Now I point that out because once again, we're going to pray for things, but we're also going to pray for people, particularly kids, grandkids, family members, to come to a saving knowledge. For outreach of God's word, we'd have to be consistent, persistent in prayer. We have to be prayer champions, prayer warriors, many times you'll hear. Like Mueller was, like we learned the last time Jesus talks about himself in Luke 18. So I encourage you, just be consistent, persistent in your prayers. God bless you. Thanks again for participating. Have a great day.